Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to compare the priority of CSS selectors locators with XPath expression locators. We generally use the CSS selectors and XPath expressions in any automation tools like Selenium, etc. Right? So, in the current context, okay? So, you may be hearing that CSS selectors have higher priority over the XPath expressions in the previous context. But in the current context, what is the current context? In the current context, the IE browser is out of the market already. Microsoft company has officially announced that it has retired IE browser, Internet Explorer browser on June 15, 2022. Okay, while I'm recording this video, it's 9th November 2022, guys. So in June month itself of this year, okay, the IE browser, which belongs to Microsoft company, has retired it. In place of this IE browser, Microsoft company has recommended to use Edge browser. Okay, if you are using Windows 11 operating system, if any one of you are using Windows operating system, Windows 11 operating system, if you have migrated from Windows 10 to Windows 11, you will see that by default you will only get Edge browser. If you try for Internet Explorer. If you search for Internet Explorer, you see Internet Explorer browser will not come. They are recommending you Microsoft Edge browser. Okay, in Windows 11 there is no IE browser, guys. Okay, up to Windows 10 only we have this IE browser. IE 11 was the last version of the browser, and that too they are going to retire in 2023 year. Okay, by January or February 2023. A major update is going to even come for Windows 10 operating system also. Okay, in Windows 10 operating system also a major security update is going to come at that time for Windows 10 users also. If someone is still using Windows 10 operating system, for them also IE browser will be removed as part of that security update. But for now, simple words to conclude, guys. Okay, in future people are going to use Edge browser in place of the IE browser. Simple. Okay, Microsoft is trying to force you to move towards the Edge browser from the IE browser. Okay, so it's not recommended to use. That means that IE browser is out of the market already. Okay, if you are using, you're wasting your time. Simple. Okay, so we have to migrate to our Edge browser as soon as possible. Okay, we should not depend on IE browser if still we have the older operating system. Now, in this context, the priority differences between the CSS and XPath is going to change. Why? So why CSS was having the highest priority over the XPath expressions earlier? There was a reason, guys. Okay, earlier, guys, earlier before this IE got, okay, before this IE got retired, what happened was we have different locators like ID name, class name, link test, CSS and XPath. These are the different locators we can use. When ID name, class name, link text locators are not are not able to locate the elements, in that case we generally go with the CSS selectors locators or XPath locators, XPath expression locators for locating the elements. Okay, these two will be the remaining options. But in that, we used to say that CSS give priority to CSS over the XPath expressions. What were the reasons? Because CSS selectors are supported by all the browser engines. Okay, all the browser engines are going to support the CSS selectors, and hence the failing of the scripts because of not locating the elements by these browser engines, okay, is not there in CSS selectors. But coming to the XPath expressions, in the older context, I am saying not supported by XPath expressions are not properly supported. I'll not say not supported, I'll say not properly supported by. Sometimes what happens is when you use these XPath expressions with IE browser, sometimes, okay, not properly supported by IE browser engine, Internet Explorer browser engine. All the other browsers are supporting XPath expressions properly, but IE browser sometimes won't locate the elements here and there very randomly, guys, very rare cases. Okay, that too. Because of this reason, we we gave highest priority to the CSS selectors when compared with the XPath expressions. Whenever you have the possibility of using CSS selectors and XPath expressions, and if IE browser is there in your list of browsers in your automation, then we prefer to create CSS selectors earlier. Okay. And that one more difference was also there, guys. That difference was in CSS selectors is a bit faster than a bit faster than XPath expressions, whereas XPath expressions are a bit slower. It doesn't mean that they are slower, guys. Okay, XPath expressions are not that much slower. Okay, they are faster only. But when you compare with CSS selectors, they are a bit faster. Okay, so this differentiation between the speed, we don't have to exactly do, guys. It doesn't make much sense. Okay, even though you are using thousands of XPath expressions CSS selectors, you will not see that difference actually. Okay, the very minute, you can say. For that reason, you should not give the priority to CSS selectors over the XPath expressions. Only the reason why CSS selectors were given the highest priority over the XPath expressions earlier context was, it was CSS selectors were supported by all the browser engines, including the IE browser, whereas XPath expressions are supported by all the browser engines except IE browser engine. IE browser engine was not properly supporting the XPath expressions. But now, since IE browser is retired, it got deprecated, outdated. Okay, Microsoft itself is saying that you should switch to Edge browser. Edge browser is the future. IE browser is gone. We are trying to remove it step by step, like that it's saying. It's already removed, but now in older versions of operating system, that is Windows 10 and all, it is going to be removed completely by with that update I told you, right? Security update that is going to happen in January or February month of 2023. By the time IE 11 will vanish in the market. So in this context, now if you ask me the priority of CSS or XPath expressions, I'll say same priority. I'll not say that CSS select because IE got retired. Okay, because of IE only, this CSS was given the highest priority. Now both CSS and XPath expressions are there. Now I'll give equal priority, same priority, guys. Okay, I'll instead, if you ask me still personally, like what would you like to? Okay, what would you like to use? If I give you an option of CSS selectors and XPath expressions to use in Selenium automation scripts or any other automation scripts, which locator you will prefer to use? When they are having the equal priority, still if you ask me like which locator you will prefer to use, I will vote for XPath expressions because XPath expressions are powerful than the CSS selectors. Okay, any element can be located with XPath expressions, guys. Okay, most of the elements cannot be missed with XPath expressions, but CSS selector there is a possibility that most of the elements will be located, but some portion may be missed. In that case, XPath expression is the final savior. But I'll say that because of its powerfulness and because of its way of writing and all, I prefer XPath expressions over CSS selectors, guys. Okay, earlier context was different where CSS selectors are having the highest priority over XPath expressions. Even in that context, also I have seen projects in real time were using XPath expressions because they got habituated with XPath expressions. Okay, even though the CSS have the highest priority. But now in this context where IE browser is out of the market, out of the race, then both will have the same priority, and I prefer to use XPath expressions. Whenever I get an opportunity from now onwards, if I have to use CSS or XPath, I'll go with XPath expression. Okay, if you ask me personally. So guys, hope you got the current context of priority difference between the CSS selectors and XPath expressions and which you have to choose. Okay, for helping Selenium or any other automation tools for locating the elements on the web pages, as IE browser is out of the market now. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye.